You're listening to Cancer Convos with Brady and Stacy.
Hey there, welcome to the edition of Cancer Convos with Brady and Stacy, sponsored by Chelsea Smith Cosmetics, the Bismarck Cancer Center, and the Jolliffe Institute of Restorative Medicine and Aesthetics. I'm Bob Brady.
I'm Stacy Sturm.
And a great guest today. Hey, Jen, how are you?
Hi, I'm really happy to be here and meet you guys. How are you?
Good.
Good.
So I found Jen because we try to get guests every episode.
Yeah, so it's not just us blathering on about how terrible cancer is. Yeah.
And it was like on a podcast, whatever setup, whatever it was, because I don't know how to do that anymore. I used to when I was on radio, but now I don't. And Jen has a story. She has a book. She has a foundation. She has a business. She has everything.
Yeah.
That we want to talk about with Cancer Convos, and I'm very happy to have her on today.
So, Jen, tell us a little bit about your story.
So I'm one of those weird people that became super happy once I got cancer. I was diagnosed with stage 4 triple negative breast cancer. At the moment of being diagnosed, I was miserable. I thought I was going to die because I was a healthy actress, singer-songwriter, newlywed, trying to have a family with my husband. And like my dreams were all starting to come true. And then I found a lump under my arm. And this was also after rounds of IVF, trying to get pregnant, 3 rounds, and I wasn't getting pregnant. So I was actually getting really depressed and in a funk. And then 4 months after we stopped trying IVF, I was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. So I really thought that I missed my calling of having a child, and the universe was just like, okay, get rid of this girl. Like, she'll have to come back and fulfill her purpose, because she missed out this time. So in the process of the diagnosis and having to find a doctor, I went through interviews with 3 different hospitals, and I was always praying, like, please send me a sign of like who to pick, thinking there was a doctor that was going to save my life and somebody that wouldn't save my life. And the first 2 doctors, I was not getting the sign at all. And then I went to meet my doctor at UCLA. I felt very safe in the meeting right away. And then he told me if I had gotten pregnant when I was trying, I would have probably died. And in that moment, everything changed. It was such a quick transformation. I went from victim to warrior. And I realized cancer was coming to save my life. It was coming to change so many things. And I kind of trusted I was going on this healing journey, and I was surrendering to the process and believing that everything was going to happen for a reason. And unsure if I was going to live or die. I knew if I was going to die, I wanted to be happy for the last couple of years of my life. So how do I be happy in this process? I have to frame the story that this is like a chemo cleanse. I'm going to get brand new hair. I'm going to get perky new boobs, and I'm going to get my husband to do everything for me. And, I just made everything work. So it sounded good. And everything that I wanted came true. I wanted cancer to become the best thing to happen to me. And it did. It put me on a path of really helping patients and survivors, and sharing the mindset is a huge component to healing. I had a lot of trauma from my past that I really just ignored. And I was like, oh, maybe I need to deal with this, And so I went on a crazy healing journey and healed. And now I'm happy. And you can never not be happy once you learn how to be happy. It's a choice.
We are like the same person, Jen. It is absolutely crazy. So I had an incredibly toxic couple years leading up to my cancer diagnosis, just incredibly toxic, and things were going okay when I was diagnosed. But cancer, when I started chemo, I was like a brand new person. And 1, I felt better, but 2, I just felt like it. You're right. It was a fresh start for everything.
It was cleaning you out. It was getting all the negative stuff out and rejuvenating everything.
And the funny thing is, when you talk about positivity, I was always I had on my little headphones and I would listen to happy, positive music, ELO, and I'm getting pumped full of chemo, just listening to ELO, having a good time. And, thanks for treating me. Thanks for poking me. Thanks for this. And thanks for that. And thanks for the power bar. And thanks for everybody that sent me a blanket. And it was super great. And my oncology people, my oncology staff said, that is the key. Like those who think they can and those that think they can't are both right. And so they said the attitude is probably one of the most important battles you're going to face with cancer.
I completely agree. And I also agree it is like when we know we have the choice, like I looked at chemo as healing medicine that was going to save my life. So I prayed before I did it. I like felt grateful for receiving it. And I see so many people are there, they call chemo poison. Like I hate it. I have to do it. It's killing me. And I'm like, if you're going to go into going through chemo thinking it's killing you, it's probably going to not do the positive stuff that it possibly could do. So I feel like you're setting your entire like energy up in your body to take the good or to take the bad. And it was such a lesson.
It is about perspective. And most of the guests we've had on our show, Jennifer, has been that this is going to be a good thing. I'm going to be positive about it. This is the way it's going to be. And I'm going to take it as a, like a new lease on life or whatever you want to call it, because you don't know what you have down the road. And you're so right, because that it's, mind over matter, and just thinking about, what can you do? And I say this every show, and I'll say it again. Medicine is a practice. You're a whole different person from what I am, what Stacy is, and we don't know what's in our bodies that's going to fix it. And we just got to look at it and say, hey, this is what's going to happen to me. And you did that. And that's awesome. And you've done more than just that. Like since that happened, you've done everything.
Well, it was really interesting because when I was going through chemo and when I realized the power of the mind and the power of just being grateful for everything I did have, as opposed to thinking of everything I don't have, it's two different schools of thought. I was like, wow, I have to start a company right away, because what if I'm not going to be here in a couple of years and I just want to get this started? So my cancer was called triple negative. So the company I started was called Zero Negative. And the goal was really to share like love and positivity and gratitude that gets you through everything, whether it's cancer, whether it's divorce, whether it's a death. We all have all these challenges to go through. And so if we embrace it with a positive, loving, gracious sort of mindset, it's probably a challenge that's going to help us instead of hurt us. So Zero Negative became a company that spreads love through accessories that give back to cancer research at UCLA's Johnson Cancer Center Foundation, which is where I do all my treatment, or did all my treatment. And so grateful for the doctors that saved my life. And I wanted to give back to them and also share the story that I felt, I had a 10% chance of living. So it's not like they thought, but they were also not anxious, like this is possible, you can do it. And I did it. And then the scary part of my cancer, I don't know about you guys, but if it comes back within the first 5 years, triple negative will most likely kill you, or you'll be living with cancer for the rest of your life. But if it doesn't come back, it's never coming back. 90% chance not coming back. And now I'm 6 years. So
good for you.
Yes.
Yeah. Ovarian cancer has a 15% survival rate after 5 years. So once you get past that 5 years, you're probably okay, but only 15% of people see that 5 years, that's terrible. But I keep thinking in my mind, I'm the 15. I'm the 15. I'm the 15. Or
where are you in your journey?
A year and a half in remission. So
amazing.
Knock on my laptop. But I do take a daily chemo pill, like a PARP inhibitor, to try to make sure it does not come back. So I have to take that twice a day to make sure that the cancer does not come back.
For 5 years you take that?
Probably 10 years until my total genetic makeup has changed. Do you have the gene?
Yes, but I didn't know I had the gene until my diagnosis. Then part of my treatment was removing my ovaries, so I wouldn't ever have to get ovarian cancer, because that was high probability. Yeah. So do you still have your ovaries, or no?
They took everything. And then also I had a 14-pound tumor on one of them and a 2-pound tumor on the other one. Wow. I had 16 pounds of tumor in my.
So you lost a lot of weight.
That's a lot. Yeah, when I went in, I'm like, this makes sense why I'm not able to lose weight.
Why was I so bloated all the time?
Oh yeah, that's so crazy. But the crazy thing is, most of the time, by the time you do get the diagnosis, you're probably already at stage 3 or stage 4 for ovarian.
Exactly.
You're at that point where you're so miserable, you finally do go in. But yeah, so they took all of that, and they asked if I did want and another surgery to have them take my breast tissue. They also took my spleen and my appendix and several lymph nodes too. I was like, oh, I walked out of there about 25 pounds lighter.
Yeah, really. That is a cleanse.
Yeah.
This isn't the cleanse I wanted.
The
I
BRCA gene?
do have the gene. Yeah, I do.
Didn't know until your diagnosis as well.
I did not. No. And now my sister and my daughter and a lot of people in my family have went and got tested. So
yeah, my sister and my mother tested after I did, and they don't have the gene. So it turns out I got it from my dad. And then my brother has it. So for men, it's not as bad. You know, they have to just be watched a little closer. But for my mom and sister, we're just totally ready to get everything out, and they didn't have to. So
yeah.
Now, Jen's husband Larry, we're gonna have them on again here later on, like on another show, and they're gonna talk about the couples aspect of it, because as I've talked with my wife, and then we're gonna have Stacy's whatever he is.
Stacy's whatever.
It'll be a fun conversation. Yeah. I mean, the caregivers, like the patients, no one really wants to be in this situation, but we both have to show up in our roles that we've been cast. And, you know, we survived love. We were newlyweds, you know, and then all of a sudden he's like, oh my God, my wife might die. That's crazy. Even though he didn't think I was going to die. Like, and so that was a nice thing, but still, like, the possibility of just having to be a caregiver once, you know, you're married.
It's a switch. You flip and like, wait a minute, we're supposed to be having fun and doing our thing and going on vacations, and now I have to take care of you. It's such an early thing, you know. It's not like you're 95 years old and he's taking care of you then. Like this was newlywed time.
Exactly.
Well, and the thing is too, the cancer patient gets so much, you get the support of your loved ones, including like your spouse or your significant other or your whatever's in my case, and friends and the community. But your caregiver, your caregiver doesn't get that.
The worst job of everyone. But you know, I always joke, like, one, if it had to be whoever I'm glad I was the patient and he wasn't the patient, because we probably would have been divorced. And second, we kind of joke too, like we've gotten so many things out of the way in the early part of the marriage, so hopefully, you know, we've been tested many times and we're fine, so hopefully we get to enjoy now the rest, you know.
How long have you guys been married now?
8 years.
Wow.
8 years. But people used to think like I was lucky that he stayed, you know, because
you are statistically, and
he was like, what? Like, I love this woman, she has cancer, but I still love her, you know, she's not gonna have cancer forever. It was a very strange reaction.
I've said I want to get a therapist on here to talk about so many different aspects of cancer, but the percentage of men who leave their wives or girlfriends after a cancer diagnosis is incredibly high. Like it is ridiculously high. It just baffles me that you could walk away from something like that.
Yeah. Horrible. Thank God that wasn't Larry, or else he would not have had a book under his name. Everyone needs a Larry.
Yes, everyone needs a Larry.
Everyone needs a Larry.
He earned it. He earned that.
But at the same time, if he had walked away, then that probably would have been doing you a favor. I tell people that all the time too.
Exactly. That's why whatever's happening to you, you just have to trust. You are being protected by this happening.
100%.
And it makes life a little more fun, just believing like, okay, I'm getting this for me, not to punish me, but to help me. So I just really kind of look at everything in that way, and it's just so much more enjoyable.
Yeah.
So do you still do any acting on the side or anything? Are you still into that?
I don't, but I do like have a lot of writing projects.
Okay.
And I was the kind of person that like I was a singer-songwriter, but I loved the writing lyrics more than the being on stage, even though nobody was singing my songs and I love them so much, so I had to perform them. But I like being behind the scenes, and you know, I think writing is my thing. Designing, you know.
I did a little quick search before, actually this week when we were talking with you, Jen, like Stacey, she's been in some movies. Like you don't understand this, who we're talking to. This isn't just Jenn Greenhut of just, hey, she had cancer. Like this is Jenn.
This isn't just cancer, Jenn Greenhut.
No, I think this is my claim to fame, though. Like,
isn't that crazy?
Isn't that? Yeah. She was in What Women Want.
What's that?
You were in What Women Want.
I was in What Women Want. I was in The Craft. I was in Many Aphrodite, Virtuosity. I mean, I had like little parts in big movies.
Yeah.
Which is
that's
funny.
awesome.
When Bob said you were going to be a guest on the show, I had literally just watched The Craft on Hulu like the day before. And then I was searching you to do some research on you. I'm like, oh, look at
Yeah,
that.
that's funny. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I'm getting some residuals from that one.
You're welcome. I paid you right there.
Thank you. I know. Thanks for the writer's strike too. It'll be
Oh yeah.
Right?
more
Oh,
of that stuff.
yeah.
So Bob, are you cancer free?
I am not. I still have. So I had thyroid cancer in 2014, and then it moved from my neck down to my lungs. So I now have 2 tumors in my lungs that are just there. Like
They're
I did
stubborn.
radiation. Yeah, I
They're
did
stubborn?
radiation about 2 months ago, and I'm probably doing about a radiation by the end of the year.
Okay.
Just try to. They just keep sticking around.
Have you done chemo or they already did that?
Nope, no chemo. It's always been either radiation, just targeted radiation, or the radiation iodine pill, radioactive iodine pill, and like I'll do chemo. Like I just want to get it going because it's like it just weighs on me. Like I don't literally and figuratively because I've gained weight, and because I can't do anything, 'cause I can't really breathe a whole lot. But again, it's just one of those things where like I can tell Stacy like my cancer is like it's not the deadly one, but it's still cancer. I just that's how that I have that thought process of I'll be fine until I'm not,
Yeah. Well, you kind of if you have cancer, you just want it not in you anymore.
Yeah. You know what? I don't care how small the tumors are. How about we just not have any?
Even if it's a freckle that has cancer, just get it off.
I still have a friend I want. No, I know.
Exactly.
So Jen, your journey has been amazing. Like you said, you're 6 years free. What's your big advice for folks out there that may be going through it right now?
Well, one, pick a team of doctors that you trust. You don't want to actually have to question their treatment. So interview at least 2. Like I always say, interview 2 to 5 oncologists. And look at cancer as it's something within your body. It's not trying to kill you. It's trying to get your attention that something needs to be like switched or healed or changed within you. Like it's your body. Your body is calling you to love it. It's calling attention to it. It's calling mommy to come save it in a way. So look at cancer not as your your friend. It's your friend. It's not your enemy. It's coming because it's trying to teach you something. And embrace every day, every moment, because we never know when our last moment's going to be. And it's always nice to just be grateful for just the life that we have, whatever we're going through. We still are going through it because we're alive. The other option would be to be dead and not have to go through it. So just embrace every challenge, that every challenge is for you and not, to make you suffer.
I need to take this recording and like put it in my pocket and just play that over and over and over when I think I'm having super bad days.
Life is about bad and good days. There's not like life that's just going to be perfect. But the thing is, that's what a human being life is. It's bad and good. And it's really going on the ride. And how do we want to go on the ride? How do we want to go through the bad stuff? And how do we want to go through the good stuff? What if it wasn't bad or good? It just was and just is.
I remember a sports guy I used to work with years ago. He always say how the baseball players would say, hey, he hurt his whatever, and he's day to day. And he would say, aren't we all just day to day? Like it's just, it's true. Just because his baseball players hurt.
Yeah, we just don't know.
Yeah.
We're all day
Just never know. Yep.
We just don't know. And
Jen,
there's always something worse and always something better in a way. So
there is. And we thank you for taking time today. Zeronegative.com is the website. It's
shopzeronegative.com. That's the website. Just
got it.
FYI.
Okay. And your
the company is called zeronegative.com. At the moment, the website's shopzeronegative.com because But and the book is called Everyone Needs a Larry.
Okay.
And we're gonna have Larry on here soon. I just wanted to get that set up because Larry sounds like a fun guy.
We might need more time. He talks a lot.
That's fine.
We're not not timed. This is great. Yeah.
That's it. We have no
Larry
time.
has all
Yeah.
the time in the world that he needs.
All right. Hey, Jen, thank you for joining us. We'll definitely be in touch. Thank you so much. Have a great weekend.
Awesome. Thanks, you guys.
Yep.
I'll
Thank
talk to you
you.
soon. Bye.
Oh, that was good stuff with Jen there. And we thank you for joining us today for Cancer Convos. Check them all out on youralready.net, on the website, on the mobile app, Spotify.
iTunes, YouTube, TikTok. It's all.
Are we
You
everywhere?
can find us.
All right.
Pretty much. I'm exhausted. My whole week is just posting our show every week.
Well, that's what you get. I'm only here to name the sponsors, so that's all I'll take. And we almost missed that part of the show, so we won't go into that detail. Our guest leaves and Stacey's done. We're done. Show's
I'm
over.
done.
Click.
Like,
It's
that's
over.
it.
Yeah,
We're good.
Yeah. Cancer Convos is sponsored by our wonderful sponsors. Stacey doesn't care about you, but I do. Chelsea Smith Cosmetics, the Bismarck Cancer Center, and Jolliffe Institute of Restorative Medicine and Aesthetics. We thank you all so much. Have a great week.